The PlayStation State of Play just went down, and coming out of this showcase, I wanted to share my thoughts on this event, and really see if the future is bright for PlayStation fans all around the world. So, let's break that all down. Up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. PlayStation State of Play has come and gone, and through this event, we got to look at a ton of games headed our way fairly soon, and it certainly ended with a bang. Now, to kind of get this out of the way, my general thoughts on the showcase as a whole. I didn't really think it was needed. I didn't think it was necessary. The games we seen, we kind of sort of figured they'd be there. But let me explain all that. To start off with the good up front, because you know me, I like to talk about the good things first, Ghosts of Yotai was announced at the end of this showcase. And for many people, myself included, that's what kind of saved this show. As of right now, 2025 looks to be the year that this game releases, and it's already added to what is shaping up to be a rather big year for PlayStation as a whole. Now, Ghost of Tsushima was already one of those games that stand out in the crowd as one of those visual showcases, along with a very gripping story, so that looks to continue here as well. And to touch on those visuals real quick, it's crazy to think that this would be Sucker Punch's first game built from the ground up just for the PlayStation 5. And I would like to think that this game will take full advantage of the PS5 Pro, but that could be wishful thinking. Now, as far as the story goes, this game isn't entirely a direct follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, and that's to the surprise of many fans because that's what they would have thought this game would be. This game takes place a few hundred years, I believe 300 years after the first game, and this is all with a new protagonist, Atsu. And I honestly can't help but think Ghost of Tsushima, or Ghost of Yotai, is now taking a new page out of the Assassin's Creed book. And by that I mean Assassin's Creed is fairly well known for jumping around different time periods and new characters, so that's welcomed here. I also think this game is going this route because it leaves the series more open-ended, and that allows Sucker Punch to jump from various time periods and characters to expand on the now Ghost of series. But again, much like Assassin's Creed, I don't think this rules out the possibility of revisiting Jin's original story, and maybe expanding on it later down the line through a new game or even some DLC. Now back to the event as a whole. Outside of Ghost of Yotai, there really wasn't anything that caught my eye. Sure, we are getting new Astrobot content, which is always welcome, and Palworld is now available on the PS5, despite all the controversy it's currently going through. Another big thing people were hyped up on was the first two Soul Reaver games that did leak out before the show. These games were pretty big back in the day amongst PlayStation fans, and rightfully so. And based on these visual improvements they made here, it seems like it was fully deserved of this upgrade. Last but certainly not least, we got confirmation that Horizon Zero Dawn is indeed getting this remastered treatment, and it will be coming to the PS5 and PC. Now, I'm gonna stand by this take. I think this was a waste of time, resources, money, whatever have you, because this game did get that patch update for the PS5. So it's kind of like, why do we need this? But apparently Sony thought this game needed much more with visual overhauls, and I think they redid some mocap for the game. But the catch here is, if you already own the game and want to upgrade to this version, you just need to pay $10, which hey, I think that's the least they can do here. And for those of you who don't own the game, I think it costs around $50, which hey, do with that what you will. And I can't help but acknowledge the looming shadow of the PS5 Pro, which I want to add, we still don't know the pre-order time for this console, which I believe is going down in just 2 days. And I honestly thought to give the console a fair chance, this State of Play would have been the perfect time to do anything related to this console. They did show off a bunch of these games that would be enhanced, but at the same time, we don't know exactly what enhancements are being made. Alan Wake 2, for example, will be getting some type of enhancement, but again, we don't know exactly what that means. But this goes without saying, the PS5 Pro in the long run will probably sell out day one, and it's gonna be a cool console. Again, it's more or less that price point and PlayStation just not communicating. But the communication that PlayStation has had around this console and this whole generation has been pretty bad. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but I felt a glaring absence of those now canceled live service games. That goes without saying. You know my thoughts on live service games, especially this batch that got canceled, but I can't help but think something was missing here. And again, that's not me rooting for these games, but people often forget how many originally were set to come out, and how many were canceled. Now let's just play pretend and slot in 2 or 3 of those new games here. That would have been a pretty packed showcase. And I'm just gonna go out and assume one of these was The Last of Us Factions. Overall, I'm just gonna have to give this showcase a C. Yeah, outside of Ghosts of Yotai, which was pretty damn cool, I didn't see anything that really grabbed me. Sure, the Soul Reaver games look cool, but again, they're missing something. I don't know what that is. I've been rooting for Jak and Daxter and Sly Cooper, but that just seems to be a far off conclusion now. But yeah, I don't know. I guess now's the best time. I'm gonna pass it off to you guys. What did you think of this state of play? What do you think of the future for PlayStation? But that about does it here. I've been Kalo. I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.